least two of those double taps again. Actually, what I found is the most insane item on him is Ionic Spark.
Alrighty, what's happening, folks? We'll get rock and rolling here in a little bit. We'll let everybody check in. What's happening, Trip?
It does like 200 true damage. Times like
Daniel Emmons, what's happening? And Katie Winters. Zachary Hood. What's up, guys and gals? Dustin Easter checked in. What's happening, Dustin? Dustin Easter, I hope you're looking at the our schedule at oktdd.org. Check out the February 23rd date. May ring a bell with you. What's up, Trip? Sean Farrell, Barry David, Brian McGinnis, Jeremy Black. Jeremy Black's not late this week. All right, I'm going to see if I can get this shared up. Always mess this up. I don't want the about. I just want the share. Whoever wants to update. James Dempsey's in the house. Yo, what's up, Jay Black? Dion Bean, what's happening? Hey, let me go out and see if I'll keep talking, but you guys keep checking in. I'm gonna go out here and see if I can get this shared on another tab. Try to share it to my page so that I can get other people that are not part of Tier to Dirt to be able to see this. I know I have a lot of local friends that aren't and do that. So let me share that real quick. Post. All right, cool. There we go. I'm in business. Got it. Never can do it from my phone for whatever reason. I know I can do it. I'm just not quick enough, or my phone won't update fast enough. So, Dion Bean, Daryl Stilson, what's up? Hey, Daryl. Forrest Smith's in the house again. Zachary Hood. Zachary, that's great, man. I'm going to be out there working at Steed. Zachary Hood just said, hey, hoping to make it out to Steed Sunday to get a couple laps in. I'm going to be out there Saturday and Sunday. I think I'm going to have a little bit of help on Saturday with one of my kids. Knock on wood, I'm going to be able to get everything cleared initially Saturday, and then we should be good to go. I'm about a little over half a mile to go in two small sections, and then I've got some touch-ups that I want to do, but that's about all. So we'll be good. So you should be good Sunday. You can just message me if you're interested. Message me Saturday night, and I can give you the details and about when and all that. Hunter Farrington checked in. Hi, y'all, Forrest. John Farrow, hey. Michael Pickle and Tammy Farrow checked in. It's Tammy and Joel, so I don't know which of the two it is. Paul McGinnis, Pat and Bryce, GT Giorgito. All right, we're almost 4 minutes in. Let's go ahead and let's get this rolling. Got a pretty long list. I don't know how. I think some of it I can go through pretty quickly, but we get to talk and the questions get asked, and so it gets delayed. So let's get rolling. Tommy Duvall, what's happening? Dustin Bagnaro, Casey Anderson, PC Casey, Forrest Smith. Forrest, no, they're all still here. It's the original trail. I've made a few modifications here and there, minor, but it's the original Steed trails that Dave created, I don't know, 30 years ago. Michael Pickle's on the trainer, so get your sweat on, Michael. You can give you some. Hopefully, we'll give you something to take your mind off the sweat. GT's in New York, so got to check us out. All right, Anthony Diaz, what's up? Alrighty, let's get rolling. Weekly Wizard update. December. I don't know what's today. 10th? Yeah, December 10th. Let's see. I'm Corey, the Wizard, and we're going to rock and roll and just jump right into it. I think there's been a lot of transition between Tour de Dirt over the last 5 years, and in 2015 we made a pretty big leadership change, and I took over at that point, started working with a handful of friends, and then we decided to we had to decide on the direction for Tour de Dirt. We were basically starting over with new leadership, new direction, new board, which at that time didn't really exist. And we needed a direction, and I reached out to OEF, Oklahoma Earth Bike Fellowship. If you guys don't know what OEF is, you should. We're going to talk a little bit about it now, and our affiliation and our cooperation with them. So at that point in 2015, I reached out, and knowing in the back of my mind, I remembered from the late 90s, I think maybe even into the very early 2000s, OEF actually ran the Tour de Dirt. That was what they did. That was actually one of their main focuses. Trail advocacy was also a focus of a mission of theirs. And then sometime, I can't remember the exact date. It's a long time ago, in the very early 2000s, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5, 05. I'm not real sure. Sometime in that 05, 06 range, probably, OEF decided to focus more on their direct mission, which is trail advocacy in our state, helping develop trails, build trails, maintain trails, and provide a support network for the trail builders and the trails that they adopt, and have people become affiliated with them. So that occurred, and then they got out of the Tour de Dirt business, and Tour de Dirt had other leadership that was separate from OEF. So we both kind of went our own ways for many years, and then in 2015, when I took over, I was looking to make a connection with some other organizations, and OEF at that point, for me, felt like the perfect fit. They were in a perfect position to, I guess, lend us support, and at the same time, us provide them with, a little more exposure. And we became affiliated with them at that point, and we have continued that since then, and we plan to continue that onward. It allows them to be a part of Tour de Dirt without breaking from their mission, which is trail advocacy. So a lot of good things have happened, and I can't thank OEF enough, because the support that they lended us at that point in time was critical for us to move forward with Tour de Dirt. And I'd like to think that it's been a fairly easy transition for them, and not a lot of additional work for them. All right, Crystal Wintle, what's happening? Julie Hermadka, Richie Bean, and Alan White joined the house. Welcome. So we've had a good relationship with OEF, and we plan to continue that. And part of that is I want to try to bring more exposure to OEF, because one of the things that I do notice, I do a lot of trail work myself. Some of you are aware of that, and some of you are not. I think a lot of you are more aware of it now that we've added Steed back to the schedule. I've actually been helping maintain Steed almost 15 years, somewhere in that ballpark. I really can't even remember when I started. It's been so long, maybe longer than that, because I've lived here for 17, so maybe longer than that. I may have been doing it for over 15. I have I've put in the last month and week and a half, month and a week, I've put in 35 hours of trail work alone. So I think that qualifies for me to talk about this a little bit. And I do that pretty much yearly. I have to put in that many hours to try to maintain steed. I do get help a little bit now, but when it comes to crunch time, I usually end up putting a lot of the man hours in. So it's kind of part of the gig. One of the things that surprises me is that we have so many racers and riders in Oklahoma, and when you go and talk to them about being a member of OEF, who is a trail advocacy program or our group and responsible for many of the trails that we have in our state, so few are members. So I've posted a link in the heading, and I posted a link at the very, very first of the comments. Super easy way to go join. You all should be involved. Even if you can't make trail days or you can't go work on trail, you can at least be involved, be in the know, and let your money speak. Membership's fairly reasonable. $39 is the lowest entry level for an individual, and then you can bump it up to 50 or more. And there's different brackets if you just want to go more, but 50 is the next bracket. And that actually is a family membership as well as individual if you chose. So if you have 2 or 3 in a family, then you could get your whole family a membership with that. So fairly cheap, and that's a yearly fee, renewable every year. It's nice and easy. Links provided. You should go do it. Become involved. Let's see, we've had quite a few check-ins there. Alan White's got a couple beer pictures up there. Nice. Darren Hall. Aaron King, what's happening? Aaron, hope you're all recouped. Chad Sprague, my latest YouTube subscriber. Roy Pemberton, Gabe Edmonds. What's happening, Gabe? I saw Gabe up on the podium in a picture on Facebook earlier this week. Tom Ugleen, Chip and Charlotte Smith, and Michael Roberts. What's happening, guys and girls? Alrighty, let's wrap this first section up. We are working on a few things with OEF, with our affiliation with them. Haven't worked out the details. We'll keep talking with them and we'll figure something out. But we really would like to have a bigger presence for OEF at our races. Haven't figured out how we want to do that. Maybe some kind of booth, maybe some kind of tent, maybe some cold beers, and I don't know, something fun. We'll figure it out and we'll let you know. But as we figure that out, keep an eye out. Stop in and see them. See what you can do. See how you can help. Join the crew. Chad Sprague, do you want a prize? I don't know. We could come up with a prize for you. GT Giorgito says $39 equals 4 mocha lattes. you can do with 4 less per year. For sure. Mitch Armstrong joined. What's happening, Mitch? Let's see. Lastly, this is a perfect time to do trail building. A lot of us have a little bit of a gap in our race schedule. There are some races still going on, but this is probably the slowest time of year for many. So keep an eye out for trail days. Check in with your local trail and the local trails trail bosses. Find out when they're working, what they're doing, and do whatever you can to help them. Also keep a lookout on all the typical Facebook groups. Posts will be out there from OEF, as well as any trail day links will be posted on all the various websites. So always keep an eye out and try to do your part. If you guys have any questions or comments about any of that, just holler. We can hook you up. If I don't know the answers, I can make sure and put you in touch with the right people. Alrighty, subject number 2. I wanted to go ahead and talk about this again because I was questioned about this last week. I fumbled around with an answer, and I don't think that I got it terribly wrong, but I just didn't quite have all the information. Excellent, Anthony. Anthony Diaz. Hey, Anthony, let me rephrase this. This is a mistake that I made last week. I was responding to comments without repeating the comment. so you guys didn't know what I was responding to. So I'm trying to get my etiquette a little bit better here on video. Anthony Diaz says, I'll add any trail day events to the calendar if they are posted. So probably what we got to do is just anybody that's going to be doing trail days, we need to link you up with Anthony. Anthony, why don't you post a link to your calendar? It's just a Google Sheet, shared Google Calendar. Why don't you post that up on here so people can get that and make a shortcut to it? Anthony has worked on a pretty comprehensive calendar just of everything. So not anything specific, it's just everything cycling. So it's a pretty detailed little calendar, and the more that you can add to it, the better. So it's a great source. I made the link to it today and just didn't get a chance to print it off. I was actually going to print it off and have it. So, all righty, Lori McCarty checked in. What's happening, Lori? Yeah. So back to my topic. Topic 2: Draper permits. Or the fees, the parking permit fee for use of the trail. So that question was brought up a couple of times last week, and so here's the deal with it. Our daily use fee is $2 at Lake Draper. The yearly use fee is $25. You can pick up permits at the marina. And a place called Ajax. I'm still not familiar with where Ajax is at. I didn't Google that beforehand. So if any of you guys have that information and can real quickly just pop that address in there, go for it. Boom, Anthony just popped in a quick shortcut to his calendar called Tulsa Cycling Events Calendar. And it's not just Tulsa, it's all over the state. So good stuff. John Denton joined, and Joanne Roberts joined as well too. So back to Draper permits. So available at the marina, available at Ajax. Those are the only 2 places I know of. There probably are other places that I'm aware of. Those are the 2 that keep coming up in all of our forums. There is some rumor that a few people are trying to get the licensing or the approval, whatever that process is, to be able to sell these as well. There is also, I talked to Chad Shanks at Neighborhood, and he said that he has been playing email tag with the various groups involved, trying to figure out, navigate that red tape process to find out how to get licensed, if it costs anything, what it requires, what paperwork. So right now that's a question mark. Hopefully Chad or OEF, I think, is also going to consider approaching that as well too. So once they get that red tape and that bureaucracy figured out, if it's a fairly easy process, then maybe we can get more people involved to be able to make it more accessible. And accessibility is the key for those permits right now. I don't think anybody's opposed to $2 a day and $25 a year. I mean, that's pretty minuscule for what you're getting. I think everybody's willing to pay that. It's just a matter of the difficulty level of actually getting some of these permits. So that's what's in play. In online permits or user fees are not available yet, but the rumor is they are working on it. So hopefully you will be able to purchase them online soon as well too. That in itself would alleviate a ton of the accessibility issues. So soon. I think they're working on it, but it's kind of bureaucracy. It takes a while. It's not fast. John Bauman, welcome. Let's see. One note on the yearly permits. This is extremely important. I keep forgetting this and always have to look this up. They all expire regardless of when you purchase them on April 30. So no matter when you purchase it, so if you wait till March and buy a $25 yearly fee, you're only going to get a month. It expires April 30. And you have to purchase a new one after that date for the upcoming year. So at the time frame we are right now, I mean, we're December. I mean, it's still 4 months out. So, I mean, if I rode that place a lot and I was there a lot, I'd still buy the $25 fee. I mean, I spend more than $25 and, taking my kid out to lunch. So not a significant deal considering that's good for, in this case, 4 months, and then turn around and purchase it again after April 30 and you're good to go. Welcome, Robert Watson and Rhonda Earhart. The other part of the question from last week concerning the permits was how much does OEF get? Rumor is they get this, 90%, all of this stuff. And the facts are, yes, they can get 90%. But like I mentioned last week, I was actually correct, even though I kind of hem-hawed around about it. It's not just a flat, you pay $25, 90% of that goes to OEF. Doesn't work that way. So essentially, it's all based on cost reimbursement. So we do work. I don't say we, OEF does work. OEF, trail bosses, whatever they're doing for signage, equipment, work, anything that they do out there that can be invoiced is a cost. And they can then turn around and file that for reimbursement, and 90% of the monies, the revenue that comes in from these permits, can then be reimbursed to OEF. So the answer is yes, 90% of the revenue from these permits can go to OEF, but it has to be a process. OEF has to do, they're doing work out there, work that is compensatable. Paying for equipment or things like that. Anything that is a cost to them that they can turn around and invoice for reimbursement for this, they can. They filed their first reimbursement claim October, and it's taken a while to figure out the process because just like everything else with this whole deal, it's been kind of everybody's been behind the curve because nobody really knew what was going on, and getting information from the Public Works Utility Division is difficult, and I think now the process is kind of solidifying. They will start filing claims more regularly, and that's the deal. So basically it comes down to that. All right, so unless there's any questions on that, I'll look up and see if there's any comments. I'm going to close with, right now I know it's a little bit of a hassle to get the permits. It will become easier. It's just a matter of time and figuring out the bureaucracy and the red tape. Looks like we have several people on it. Looks like they are attempting to get online registration or online permit purchasing, which would help. And honestly, it's cheap. It really is. And the money can go back to help OEF. So let's do it. Make it happen. Richie Bean says, well, that's just stupid. It expires on April 30th. I'm sure there's a reason for that time frame. That is an odd time frame. I don't know. I don't know if they have this. I don't know if they have some weird fiscal period. I know, I work for a public school, and all the public schools, our fiscal period is like July 1, which is, for a lot of people, that's an odd time, but that's kind of when everything ends and renews for us. So maybe they have something similar, and that's why they've picked that. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know what their thinking was, but I'm sure there was some reason for it. Julie Denton and Liaison Knowles, what's happening? Welcome. All righty. No questions. We'll keep moving on. 24 minutes in, we're making some good movement. May knock this out in under an hour. Probably not. Never do. Drinking the white wine today. I got a little Pinot Grigio, so not drinking my usual red. All right. Got a couple Tour de Dirt additions. Paula was, I think, answering Richie's question. He said Parks and Rec manages it, and everything is tied to seasonal activities and mowing. So, yeah, that makes sense. I figured there was some reason for it that had to do with specific to them. So, I mean, honestly, I don't know. It's neither, as cheap as it is, it's neither here nor there. For me, the issue is not the cost or the time frame. The issue is simply access. So, and it's difficult. So thank you, Paula, for clarifying that. I knew there was a reason and figured you'd know. Alrighty, moving on. Tour de Dirt, couple changes. Actually, one addition and one change. So I'll go ahead and talk about the change first. The change is one that I have been discussing. Me and the board are still kind of split on it. So I'm going to go ahead and make a move. And, you know, if I have to eat crow next year and reverse this thing, I will. I also tossed it out to you guys. Was it last week? Or did I do it the week before? I tossed it out to you guys. I think it was last week, about the Cat 2 19 to 29, and whether or not to combine them with the 19 or the 30 to 39 because of the small numbers in the 19 to 29 field over the last, well, probably 5 years. And so I've decided to go ahead and do that. So 19 to 29 and 30 to 39 will no longer be two separate fields in the Cat 2. Only Cat 2. They will now be a combined 19 to 39 field, just like the Cat 1 group. They will start together, they will be scored together, and they will receive awards together. They will have Tour de Dirt points together. So no separations at all. So one combined field. If you have questions, comments, concerns, let me know, and we'll see what we can do. White wine will give you bad headaches. I don't know. That's only one little glass, John, so I'll probably be good. If I drank like a gallon, probably so. John Earhart said it's Ajax Motorsports. So, I mean, Google that. You're going to find it. You'll be all good. Jarrett Good joined. What's happening, Jarrett? Okay, the next change is actually not a change. It's an addition, something that we're going to try this year. Had a few conversations with Chad and Sarah Shanks at Neighborhood Bicycle, as well as Amy Bean, our Kids Cup director. And we've talked about this and tossed around some possibilities. I've discussed it with my board. And we've decided that we want to have a team challenge for the Kids Cup as well as the adults. So just like the adults do with all the teams and the team challenge, we want to have the same thing for the kids. Granted, they're going to be a little smaller and things of that nature. Not the kids, but I mean the teams. And the kids would be smaller too, obviously. But we thought it was neat. We thought, I think a lot of us have realized the importance and I guess the motivation sometimes that it gives you to be on a team and to feel like you're supporting that team and you're trying to help that team. Sometimes it takes the individual out of it a little bit, which is good, and it puts more team in it, which is always excellent. And hopefully maybe we can develop something like this for the kids. It's real rough. I don't have the rules all written up. I don't have any of that yet, but just right off the top of my head, my thinking is probably with the numbers of kids we have, a 10 to 15 person roster would be big enough. You could have like a 10 or 15 maximum riders on your team. I think still a lot of you guys think of teams like, Bike Lab and Phoenix and Fat Tire and all the solidified bike shops that have teams. And that is the case. In many cases, they do the team challenge based on that, but you don't have to. The team challenge can be any group of people that just want to make a team. You don't have to be a member of anything. You can just, you can be, 3 buddies and 4 buddies, whatever, and call your team, Joe Blow's Mountain Bike Racers. And that's fine. and that's allowed. So it doesn't have to be all the teams that are, bike related teams. You can make your own team. And the same thing with the kids. So, so 10 to 15 person roster. You don't have to have that much. I say that's the max that you could have. You can have, and I think probably the minimum number would be 3, because the adults, we count the top of a team. We take the top 4 races for that entire team, and those count towards the team challenge for that particular race. So I'm thinking for the kids, probably we need to make that, I don't know, 3, 2 or 3. I don't know. I need to think about that and do some math on it. But so if, let's say that you have a 10 team roster for Kids Cup, and you go through the list and you take all the placings that all 10 of those kids got, and you look at their points that they earned, and you take the top 2 or 3, and that's what's going to go towards the team challenge for that particular race. And we just keep adding those totals up for every race until we get to the end. And that's how we do it. So Katie Winter says, team, all my children. Exactly right. You make up your, you have a team. You have your own team. There you go. John Earhart posted the address from Ajax Motorsports. So, and from what I hear, that's the best place to get it because it's the most reliable. They always have them. Their hours are predictable. So anyway, so that's what we want to do. We hope that, this works out. And again, it's going to be a very, I still got a lot of details to work out, and we'll work with the parents. Also, just like with everything with the Kids Cup, it's free. So spread the word, talk to, if you're friends of parents, the kids maybe that aren't hearing this or aren't seeing this. We'll try to post it up on Tour de Dirt just so that it's in writing. But at the same time, you guys spread the word, talk amongst yourselves. Amy will probably post this over on the Kids Cup page, and we'll try to get the details all fleshed out. And it doesn't have to be done. We probably won't have things, I won't have things solidified until probably like after the second race of the season is completed, and that lets things settle in and people figure it out and figure out who's on their team, and we'll get all the details worked out. So I think it'll be fun. I think it's a fun thing for the kids, and of course at the end we don't have a trophy yet. We'll create a brand new, cool big old trophy. We'll treat it just like the adults team challenge, and the winner gets to put a nameplate on it with their team name and their team members, and they get to keep that thing for the next year and then they bring it back at the end of the next season, and maybe they win it again, maybe someone else wins it. So anyway, thought it was a neat idea, and we've been kind of throwing that around. I think we finally got it dialed in and figured out we're going to do it. So I'll get details out as soon as I can. Exactly, Daryl. We need to fill the Kids Cup with root beer to drink out of the chalice. So Gabe Edmonds just popped in and asked me a question. Gabe's my buddy from Arkansas. What's happening, Gabe? It says, just curious, were the numbers up or down in regard to total participants for 2019 compared to 2018? Actually, we have increased overall from 17 to 18 to 19 every year. It's been very insignificant. I think 5, 10, 15 riders between the 2 years, between 17 all the way to 19. I'd have to go back and look at those. I did all those numbers when I was researching some insurance here a few weeks ago. And so not a significant jump, but not down. So like I said, 5 to 10 to 15 over the last, from 17 to 18 to 19. I think we were like 10 or 12 up from 18 to 19. So not a significant number, but we're not decreasing. So that's good. We have noticed over the last 3 years, we have a very huge taper at the end of the year versus the beginning of the year, but overall numbers are still rising. So we're still trying to figure out that whole end of season funk and why we just keep losing people and people kind of get out of it. I know there's a lot of reasons for it, but I don't know. We'll see. Lisa Norris, welcome. All right, man, 35 minutes in. Yeah, still growth for sure, Gabe. It's something that we've, I don't know. I guess at this point, I don't see True to Dirt expanding hugely. And I really don't. In order to maintain it at the very grassroots level like we do, honestly, I still think our cost is commendable to pretty much any event. When it comes for bang for your buck, it's pretty solid. I think the most you pay is $45 if you're a Cat 2 and you don't have a license. You're paying a $10 one day plus a $35 race on-site fee. If you register online, it's a few bucks cheaper, but basically you're looking at $45 total for USAC license as well as entry fee, and you're going to get a solid day on the bike. You're getting anywhere between, a Cat 3, in that ballpark of an hour range, give or take a few, minutes either side of that. Hour and a half or so for Cat 2, and hour and a half to 2 hours actually. And then for the Cat 1s, you're looking at hour and a half or hour. No, you're looking at 2 hours to 3 hours. Usually 2:45, I think, is the key. But still, you're getting pretty good. You're getting a pretty good ride for the amount of money. So I know there's a big discussion, and there's been a couple of big discussions out on Facebook. Another one popped up today with a Craig's post talking about even Belgian cyclocross is feeling like they're losing numbers, maybe losing interest. I read that article, but maybe there's some truth to it, and maybe, I don't know. I struggled with that article, honestly, because it really, really sounded like the person that wrote it was really just judging one race from comparing it from last year to this year. And honestly, the scene over there in Belgium has really changed over the last couple of years because of the dominance of some of the men's riders and the young riders coming up trying to match that. And then you've got the diversity in the women's field, which is actually, I believe, in most cases, drawing more views, especially through the GCN racing and some of the other videos that you're watching. They're drawing more views than the men's. You also have a lot more Dutch riders, non-Belgian riders that are winning. So being that it's all in Belgium, I think it's skewed a little bit there. So I don't know that there's a huge loss of interest over there, and I don't think the cost and things of that nature have the same impact that it does for weekend warriors like us. But that did start the conversation, and a lot of the big conversation is that there was some comments about the licensing with USAC and having to go with the sanctioning body and pay the extra money and things of that nature. And I get that. There are a lot of events right now that just price me out. They do. But that has nothing to do with the licensing. That has to do with the marketing. That has to do with the actual race fee itself. I mean, I pay my 75, 80. I think it's 80 now. Maybe it's 85. Hell, I can't remember. I don't know. I pay my yearly fee every year. It's not that much, $85 for a whole year. I pay more than that for, Sirius radio, satellite radio for my kids. Probably pay more than that for Netflix. I definitely pay more than that for my box wine. So, that's fairly pretty reasonable. John says $80. I knew it was something like that. I can't remember. They keep fluctuating it. And I think we have to pay $5 more than everybody else's Cat 1s because we have to pay that extra $5 for drug testing. So, I got on this kick where, I was looking at actually, what would it take to move away from USAC and would it be a benefit? And it comes down to I don't know, for me, it was the cost of insurance. And maybe as an individual, if you have an individual race or maybe just a few races, you can maybe get some private insurance for cheaper than USAC. But I went out and checked 4 or 5 of the most common places, gave them my exact numbers from 2018, 2019, and they came in way over what we're paying with USAC, like twice as much. So there's no insurance out there that's cheaper than what USAC offers. Our riders do have to pay a little bit extra bit at the till for that license. But honestly, it's not, I just don't feel it's that bad considering how much money we spend on other things. To buy that license for the year is really not that bad. So, the thing that kills me is when you have all these races that are, charging 150, 175, 200. That's pretty steep. So, anyway, that's just my 2 cents. So I guess, I've looked at moving away from USAC just to keep my options open, but I don't know. I just don't see the benefit cost-wise. I don't see the benefit. They're pretty flexible for us, at least. They don't cause us any issues. So, yeah, anyway, it's my 2 cents. Kind of got off topic there, but oh well, it's part of the gig. And Zachary says, and you can go to the BMX track too. Yeah, Ryan, you're right. Well, Ryan Paloma says Tulsa Tough is a great example of pricing people out of the market. The thing is, though, Ryan, here's the problem with that. Try to get a Tulsa Tough crit spot this coming year. They can price it wherever they want because you can't even get in because it sells out so quickly. So if we're willing to pay it, it's a double-edged sword, So the only thing you can do is, I'm not going to gripe about it. I take that back. I will gripe a little bit about it. I think some events are just overpriced. But the thing is, if people are paying them, what are you going to do? It just means they've done a really good job marketing and selling their race, drawing interest, and making it irresistible to people, regardless of the cost. So there are tons of events that my friends do that I don't do, that they Jones to do that I don't do, and I don't do them because they're corporate type events. I don't know. So it's just a personal choice I make. I don't think anything bad of the promoters. I think they're just taking advantage of the market, and it's their prerogative. So. Louis Lindenberg is in the house. What's happening, Louis? And David Isbell joined. All right. Well, you guys got me off topic there. All right, I'll check that post later. I'm getting messages on it. Make sure it wasn't related to this. So. Alrighty, I'm gonna finish up here. We may knock this out right under or right at an hour. So if you guys have any questions about anything that I've talked about, anything else, or anything that you want to talk about for future episodes, start thinking about that as I'm talking about my last subject. Toss me up some comments. I'll try to answer anything that I can here. And if necessary, I'll just write some notes here. I've got a little... I don't know where my other sheet went. I've got a little piece of paper in there somewhere, but I'll write that I've started notes on it, and I'll add the notes to it, keep track of them, and have them ready for next week, hopefully. So any Q&A questions, go ahead and start tossing them out, and I'll try to hit them in a minute. Last subject. I mentioned this in my very first episode when I came back from my little hiatus when I released the 2020 Tour de Dirt schedule. And I've still thought about this more. I have not fleshed out the details yet, but I'm going to kind of give you the basics on what I would like to do and what I am going to do in any case, or in any situation where I can. There may be, who knows, stuff may come up and I may have to, to miss. But outside of that, my plan is to have what I'm going to call, I don't have a specific name for it, but it's just going to be a beginner's clinic at every the Saturday before every event. Work out details with time. Probably I'll just create an event page and then we'll update that per race, because I will imagine that because of weather and time frame and everything, and everything that occurs with the race weekend, travel time for me, because I'm a lot further than almost all of you guys. That will adjust the time for every Saturday, just based on when I can get there and get ready, and when we can all meet and when it's convenient for the group to be there. But I want to do a beginner's clinic the Saturday before each race. I want to start it out with very beginning stuff. So, it won't be, you don't have to attend every time. A lot of the stuff you guys will already know. I want to kind of make it a mixture of very, very, very beginner, like people that don't know anything, or maybe they've only been to one event, or maybe they've never been to an event. And I want to sit down and just do basic talk on what's a race look like, where are you supposed to be, what forms do you need, how much is it going to cost, where do you get your license, where do you get your plate. In fact, I'll probably have plates there, so I'll let you do some of that stuff early, which will help the process for Sunday. And just very basic logistical stuff. When do you need to be at the start line? Where is the start line going to be? Just things like that. You know how it is when you go to, if you ever venture out and go do something that you're not used to doing, it's a different event. It's kind of hard to figure out what all's going on. Where are you supposed to be? Where are you supposed to line up? It's just, the logistics is just confusing for a lot of people. So anyway, I want to start it out with just that basic discussion. And then I want to move it into a discussion about the trail. And again, just a basic trail talk. I want to talk about the particular trail that we're at, what they can expect, what type of trail it is. Then talk about their bike setups. So the people that are there, we can talk about their bike setups and make sure everything is okay, is prepared. If, they have the right tire pressure, they've got the right, equipment with them. Just very, very beginning stuff. But then what I want to do is allow that, though, at that point, now there's kind of a transition of very, very beginner people, and then some people that are just kind of new, but maybe they still want to do a pre-ride and get some trail advice. And so I don't know how we're going to distribute that up, and maybe I'll be able to get some locals to help me during that. We can kind of break it up, and some can go with the very beginner riders, and some can go with the other ones. And just do a basic trail pre-ride, look at all the different spots, and try to give them advice and show them what to watch out for and techniques and things like that. So, and that's pretty much it. So that's what we want to do. I want to try to start doing that, like I said, every Saturday before an event. So if you guys have questions or comments about that, or, I'd love you to start spreading the word and talking to people. If you got people that are interested in racing, that'd be the first thing that I would tell them, is that, hey, if you're going to race, there's going to be a beginner's clinic at every race before, you have to actually commit to it, to get the information that you need and get the advice that you need, and see if it's something that you even are ready for. Maybe you're just trying to get up, maybe you're just trying to get up the courage to actually do your first race. This clinic would be a great way to do that. And if you choose to race Sunday, great. If you don't, that's fine too. So eventually maybe you'll get the confidence and the information you need, and you'll be ready. So Tom says, good idea. I get people approach me at races all the time that start time at races asking new questions. Yeah, Tom, that's something that I thought about last year. And the thing is, we've been doing this for so long, and this is something that I experience, with helping some of our new riders at Bike Lab. I just forget all the things that I didn't know because I've been doing this for so long. I just assume that everybody else knows it, but that's not the reality. I mean, the reality of it is I've been doing this for 20 years. So the procedure's pretty easy. It doesn't get me, I don't get too nervous. I know kind of the time frames, and know logistics, how it works. And I think a lot of people just don't even get that. They don't even know where to go to line up. You can say, hey, what age group are you in? They're like, I don't know. How old are you? Well, they can tell you how old they are, but then they still can't figure out what age group they're supposed to be in when you call the age group. So just things like that, hopefully we'll provide a little information ahead of time, take the scare out of it, and see what happens. Oh, Richie's already talking some trash. So I'm gonna let that comment sit there. Let you guys discuss that. I don't want to say that out loud. So Darren Hall says, "I love the idea." Thank you, Darren. Thank you, appreciate it. So when we're down at Medicine Park, you come on down, Darren, and bring your crew, and we'll get Terry's to help us set up down there. Alrighty, that's about all I have. We're at 51 minutes, so not too shabby. Unless there's any last minute questions. I'm gonna scroll up, make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did. I didn't see any big jumps in my scroll bar. No, I think I'm good. Got a new comment down here. Let's see. Oh, Marty and Richie talking trash. I don't know about you guys. You guys do whatever you're going to do to cat up. I don't even know where you guys are at. So all I know is Jeremy Black's catting up. He's going to be duking it out with the ones this year. That's rocking. Hey, Trip Harrison, you still on here? You going to do single speed this year? You need to. I'll race single speed with you. I need to try to get a bike with fatter tires, though. Excellent, Aaron. Good deal. Glad you're feeling better. Absolutely, Anthony, for sure. Nicole Caldwell, you checked in just in time for me to close up shop. So, oh, Jay Black, you won't be too far in the back, buddy. You'll be doing better than you think. Oh, Tom, dang it, man! I put this in bold right at the top, but I totally forgot about it. I'm going to give a quick mention right now, and then I'm just going to make this the primary topic next week because I totally screwed that up today. I knew I was supposed to do something else. OKTDD.org. So we got a facelift. Brian Trumbly, our webmaster, has been working. He started last year with a little demo, and he told me that he wanted to revamp it. So he's kind of been holding it until we started this new year. And he worked on it over the weekend. We've got a couple little things to fine tune. I've still got to double check and look over it. And but yeah, so go out, oktdd.org, check out the new Facebook, or not Facebook page, new facelift for the website, and give Brian Trebly a thumbs up. He's our webmaster. His name's on there it's under the contact us maybe. And I know I kind of it's a little different, so I don't have it quite all memorized yet. But it lists our board, lists our officials, everybody that kind of is our board and our group of people. So, hey, Nicole, awesome. Well, shoot, yeah, bring Malachi on down to single speed. We'll get him geared up. Awesome. Oh, goodness. Kevin Wagner joined just as I'm fixing to finish up. So, yeah, there's several photos out there, and I did notice that was the little cliff ledge at going around the corner at Claremore. So, all righty, ladies and gents, I'm going to finish in under an hour. Boom, I'm out. Hopefully, I didn't say quite as much this week. And maybe the lead photo of when I posted to YouTube won't be me going like this, because it seems like every one of my YouTube videos has me with my hands in the air talking. So I don't know. I don't remember doing that, but apparently I talk with my hands a lot. So, all righty, I'm out. See you guys next week.